Alright, you know what it is. We're back at it. Week 6. We got the replay here. Yeah, all 4 games this week were bangers, so let's just hop right into it. We got Tommy versus Berg kicking us off. Did a little bit of prep with Berg this week for this game. Yeah, main thing was we were scared about Zygarde. Zygarde was going to be an issue for Berg's team. Hence why Frostlass making an appearance this week. The idea with Frostlass was kind of like a spike setter with Sash. And we'll see how that ends up getting played out. Volcanion was Wakanberry, possibly to kill Coco with Sludge Wave after eating a T-Bolt. It's also bulky enough to be able to take like a Leaf Storm from Serperior and kill a Flamethrower, but as we can see here, Miltank is going to be Tommy's consistent answer, and Volcanion is no longer any sort of threat. Berg finally goes for the Steam Eruption, seeing that it does 49%. Yeah, he's at this point, sooner than later, he's going to get a burn. But he decides to get the rocks off right there. Pretty awesome play, actually. Getting those off, last ditch effort. Berg pulls the double here. Not exactly sure what his read was on that. I don't know if halfway through Charizard coming out, he realized that Miltank was going to be fat enough to be able to eat anything. But Tommy also made a little bit of a strange play going for the Milk Drink right in Charizard's face. If Charizard just went for a Dragon Dance right there, that's probably pretty scary for his team. I don't know, Milk Drink just seemed really passive, but since Berg doubled, it ended up working out fine. Yeah, Scissor right here, he's able to just not care at all about Bisharp, go for the Bug Bite, boosted by Technician, doing 85% there after the SD. This was a really defensive Scissor, if I remember correctly. Makes a really good play here on Berg's end, switching out, adequately realizing that Urshifu can have Fire Punch, and it is a threat to Scissor. Yeah, Weezing doesn't really care too much about it. Yeah, Miltank just being problematic as always. This actually goes on for a lot of turns here. Yeah, just keep it rolling. Basically, Weezing's always going to end up winning this just because of the amount of PP he has with his moves and how little milk drinks Miltank ends up actually having. But yeah, Tommy's able to get him down to 36%. Now, Strange Team right here on Berg's end is the correct play. One, because of Dragon Dance. If he switches out and then Tommy still stays in and has like a 100% health Zygarde, say Berg switched out into Frostlass hard right there, and for whatever reason Zygarde was like Yachi Berry, it probably lives from 100%. I think it's extremely unlikely that a Zygarde at 61% lives a Yachi Berry Frostlass. Now, depending if he was like Choice Scarf Raikou or something, maybe he can come in and HP Ice afterwards. Yeah, just Strange Team was the best play, but biggest reason was for Substitute, since that's something common that Tommy's been running on there. But yeah, you guys can't see it because it's cropped out on the right side over here, but Tommy's roasting me for the Miltank stuff. He was like, I did that just so you'd be in pain. But yeah, plus 2-2, Zygarde still can't break a Focus Sash on Frostlass. And at this point, Berg just makes the best play of the season. I will say it. I don't know how he thought of it to do that. I'm pretty sure Frostlass had Thunderbolt on it. I mean, if I'm in that situation, I'm probably clicking Thunderbolt 9 times out of 10. I didn't even realize like he was even running Destiny Bond. So like this play just blew everybody's minds. Frostlass ends up getting 2 kills right there, and yeah, that just like locked it up. Mega Charizard X plus like Raikou plus Scissor, it's just too much. Yeah, I mean, Berg could have just stayed in Flare Blitz twice and won the game. pretty sure Flare Blitz from Mega Charizard X just knocks out Coco, but ends up giving all the kills to Scissor anyway, so... Yeah, I mean, Berg's a different man from last season. He's playing really well. And, yeah, Tommy's still in second place in the league. Like, you know, say what you will. Tommy's in the driver's seat for the playoffs still. So, we will move on to the next one. That was a really, really fun game to watch. Alright, me versus Dodge. What'd I do? I had Scarf, Darm, Leftovers, Calm Mind, Lele, Scarf, Infernape. Oh, yeah. I led Scarf and Infernape just in case he had Deoxys because I was faster, and the idea was he would lead Deoxys, I'd U-turn and go into Zatu on the Deoxys and the bounce back spikes, or I don't know, status or whatever he did. Basically looking at my team though, I haven't Mega Evolved Aggron yet. There's a chance he's going for an Earthquake into my Infernape or whatever. Yeah, so Zatu was my play. Zatu, looking at his team, it wasn't really super useful at this point. So I could kind of just end up sacking it on next few turns. This was just kind of scouting what he would do. I was wondering if he had a rock move. And so he goes for a Shadow Claw again, which makes sense because, you know, it was Psychic type. Shadow Claw is good coverage for 3 of the mons on my team. And now I just go back to Zatu to sack it here and just try to figure out more coverage. Now, he doesn't have to show me the Poison Jab after he does that Fire Fang right there. You know, he was doing the Fire Fang to hit my Aggron. For whatever reason, I don't know. Earthquake obviously hits way stronger, but, you know, I'm at least able to see that. But I know he's Mega Garchomp. He hasn't done any sort of like scale shot stuff to get faster, so I know my Icicle Crash is going to come through. Alright, I got Slowking for a Azumarill at this point. I see the damage. I realize he's minimum attack, so he's like 0 attack investment, adamant, huge power based off of that, doing that little damage to my Slowking. So I can just teleport out, get my Regenerator up, and looking at Dodge's team, I basically just get to click U-turn indefinitely, especially with the Psychic terrain up now. So I'm trying to figure out ways to get rid of Azu. I go back into Slowking, I can throw off like a Psychic or something. Just chipping everything down at this point. Energy Ball does a ton. So I think I calced that and realized he was Specs at that point. But yeah, I'm just getting my U-turn chip on Darm. I go into Infernape here. Definitely a little bit of a misplay. And no, it ends up working out all right in the grand scheme of things. Like, I still have enough stuff to deal with him. The best play I could have done, however, would be go into Aggron, Mega Evolve, and Heavy Slam at this point. Because I could T-Bolt Azu with Lele. I could end up hitting it with an Earthquake with Darmanitan. I could end up doing whatever with Infernape to it. So I end up going for what I assumed a 0 HP, 0 defense Azu had, and I hit him with a Gunk Shot, and he lived comfortably. His Aqua Jet did 47% to me on the first turn, and he crits me on the second turn. So I'm like, alright, well, just basically lost Infernape for no reason. Made this game a lot tougher than it needed to be. Now, even though I made it really tough on myself right there, this did not help. He goes for the Relic Song and gets the 10% sleep on me. And now it's getting a little tough. Yeah. So this play definitely got me a lot of momentum back staying in. I realized I'm still fine with Darmanitan, given that Azumarill already ate its Citrus Berry. It's at 44%, and the rest of his team is not very physically bulky. I know Darmanitan can win me this game still, so I felt like either having Slowking go down here or getting a teleport out was going to be fine for me. Thankfully, I still have Slowking left as like a sack later on, but where everything was at in the game, I was able to go for an Earthquake here to guarantee 2-hit KO Azu. He doesn't go for the Aqua Jet here for some chip, which could have mattered later on in the game. It's still probably super unlikely that it would have. Since I'm asleep, I can't get T-Wave by Deoxys. Alright, ready? That's my first turn that I've been asleep. That's my second turn that I've been asleep. And that's my third turn. Lele has been getting screwed by sleep. Melodic got me real bad in my game against Zatu, and there I get maximum turns on a 10% chance to sleep. Pretty tough stuff. Yeah, but this, I'm still fine though. Like, looking at his team, Darmanitan can basically just go in. So I'm really just positioning myself for that at this point. Stayed away from the Thunder Wave. I saw that he had it when I went into Lele originally. Did not want Darm to get slowed down at all. Yeah, and I also get paralyzed with Aggron. I was actually going for Stealth Rocks on that turn. That way I could go for U-turn, I believe, to finish out the game with Darmanitan, because I would have gotten chip on Cragnole had he not been heavy duty boots. But yep, I still have Slowking. I mean, I would have gone for U-turn anyway, even if I didn't have Slowking, like say I did sack it earlier, because I would have been able to do enough damage to Cragnole with, you know, Darmanitan's insane ability. Also, I think I was at a point, I think it was like an 87% chance to kill Indeedee with Ironhead at that point. I just went for the guaranteed U-turn kill because I had Slowking. I think I still could have just went for the Ironhead, you know, looking back at it. But yeah, there was a really good game to dodge. Got really scary with that bulky Azu. Did not expect that, but overall, Darmanitan had just such a good matchup against him that I had to use it. All right, Tyler versus MJC. The Potatoed. Tyler brought a interesting team this week. Well, I'll leave it at that. The double suicide, you know, it's good stuff. Memento into Politoed. Politoed. Alright. So let's play a game real quick. Let's look at MJC's team. And let's look at the move Freeze Dry from Kyurem. 4 times super effective. 4 times super effective. 4 times super effective. Super effective. Super effective. Neutral. And Ty starts going for game. He gets the Dragon Dance up and he's like, you know what? Your Swift Swimmers aren't going to do anything to me. I'm going to Dragon Dance and then I'm going to get my Freeze Dries off. See ya. Got a little greedy though. A pretty obvious Perish song set from MJC again. You know, that's what he's been running all year. Now Tyler gets a little greedy and goes for the SD here. I think that was unnecessary because of the chance of burn and the fact that he was unaware and you could have just killed him with Woodhammer that turn, kept your disguise up for something later in the game. I think that would have been probably the optimal play at that point. Now, what was Mimikyu really doing otherwise? I guess it was being a good ghost answer to stop like a Heracross combat, like close combat spam. You know, it definitely had use, so I think that would have been the better play at that point. Now, Heracross is at 88%. I remember running the calc during the game here, and Dazzling Gleam does not kill Heracross. I'm trying to think of what is on MJC's team that Tyler was scared of that he wanted to run the fairy move on. I guess Dracovish, because he ends up running I'm pulling up the paste right now. Team paste. It was Dazzling Gleam, Shadow Ball, Heal Bell, and Trick. I feel like he could have gotten away with not running Heal Bell on it and running Psychic, because Psychic actually would have, or Psychic or Psyshock would have killed Heracross, but Dazzling Gleam did not kill. So we see the Espeon goes for Dazzling Gleam here. Now, with the poison and everything, Heracross would have died the next turn afterwards and wouldn't... I guess Tyler would have been in a better position anyway. So like Heracross technically would have died, but he would have just lost his Espeon right there for no reason. Had MJC stayed in. Oh yeah, Tyler forgets the Mega Evolve. We're gonna forget about that. We're not gonna forget about the second time that he forgets the Mega Evolve though. Okay, now Heracross is in range of Dazzling Gleam. Goes for the Zapdos switch on the heal bow, which is kind of cool, because Zapdos, I mean, look how hard it's hitting. It did 55% to a Kyurem. Misses Hurricane, a little unfortunate. But then gets the agility up. Knocks out Espeon with the next one. Okay, so the reason I'm joking, but like not really, about this turn right here, not Mega Evolving, this actually significantly is in Tyler's favor to not Mega Evolve and Fake Out, because you get Chip and you also keep your Limber ability, so Static can't paralyze you, which we see after he Mega Evolves, lives the miss, then he gets paralyzed. Yeah, so Zapdos should have won right there. Like no doubt about it. But yeah, you know, Hero Boss comes in, cleans up what Zapdos shouldn't have done. That was a really solid game. I think if Tyler didn't get super greedy with Kyurem, there's definitely a world where Kyurem just 6-0s. But yeah, overall, I think both of them played pretty well, given what they had. Yeah, no, that was a really fun game to watch for sure. Watching Zapdos get the agility up and the missed 2 Hurricanes, always a good thing to see. Let's see here. We got E versus Joe. This was this morning. Okay. I agree with Joe here. Well, one, it sucks that Air Slash missed off rip. Really sucks. Because now you're looking at a +1 Chestnut. If I'm E, I don't know why I don't just go Zeraora the next turn. Just given it's 4 times weak to flying, Chestnut is. Yeah, ends up staying in, going for the Drain Punch. It may have been a calc that he was doing, realized he was going to be fine against it, get the Drain Punch and be able to live another one or whatever. But yeah, as we see, Chestnut took 61% and then gets a ton of health back after that. Pretty crazy. But then I had this thought during the game. I think now there are uses for Protect, Spiky Shield, King Shield, you know, moves like that. There are uses for them in singles. However, I think those moves are 95% of the time suboptimal moves that you can run on your team. Now, like, you have to use them in conjunction with like a Wish or maybe a Leech Seed, you know, something along those lines where you're getting active health back or you're doing something to the opponent, like Protect and Toxic. Throwing one off raw right here to get a little bit of leftovers back on Chestnut completely lost E the game. I think E has a really good chance if he's able to go into something like an Altaria or a Mamoswine at this point, instead of protecting, just to eat the hit, see what's going on, and then be able to like do something back to Arrow. Getting the Protect up right here basically just lost him the game. So, I know that sounds pretty harsh, but like that's essentially what happened, because now Arrow can just like, you know, run through the rest of his team. Also, E only died to that dual wing beat because he went for the Ice Shard and lost Life Orb recoil. I don't know if he calced it and it was looking like dual wing beat would have killed, and then Like Joe just got like the lowest possible dual wing beat roll like of all time. But yeah, instead of ice sharding there, if you just go for your regular attack, you know, maybe you die to the recoil afterwards or whatever, but you know, 71% from a life orb ice shard, you definitely kill him with an icicle crash. You know, something like that instead. I don't know what the calc was. That was probably something that popped up that, you know, he decided that I'm not going to live, so I just need to get some damage off. But yeah, it was another way to possibly get out of the situation. I'm assuming E was not running like Fire Blast or Flamethrower on his Absol this week. Either way, Joe did not care. He was not scared of it. Got the Blaze Kick. Would have been real dope to see one of those Blaze Kicks miss my Sceptile earlier this year, but whatever. We're chilling. We're alright. We're alright. Alright, so we gotta set up, okay. I understand what his thought process on this turn. I get it. However, I think his best play here is to Shadow Ball straight up, because if Ditto comes in, you have Absol to switch to on like a Shadow Ball. If Toxicroak comes in, or Mew comes in, or Arrow comes in, like, you know, they're going to take a big chunk of damage. Mew's definitely getting 2-hit KO'd. Arrow's going to die. Toxicroak's probably getting 2-hit KO'd as well. You know, Arrow's going to die. Mew you can just knock out. Toxicroak you can end up getting your substitute on. So I get the idea that Joe would want to keep this, but it's so low. I understand the sack as well. So unfortunate sub here. Now, if we were doing all the math and everything and E made this perfect play on turn 22 that we're about to get to, I'll talk about that when that happens, but that one substitute is actually probably what could have costed him the game. So Squishy comes in, copies Gengar. Gengar's at like 90, it's at 88%. Alright, yeah, as we see, Absol, easy switch. Gets the Will-O-Wisp off onto Toxicroak and sacks. Alright, so at this point, Gengar comes in, eats the Bullet Punch, gets a substitute up. Okay, we're at 52%. Let's just say we were in the ideal world right now and he played it perfectly, he would be at 64%, right? Extra 12 percentage. So let's keep going through here, and this is a live exercise as well. I'm not totally sure of the numbers. So he gets Nasty Plot off. Alright, we saw Bullet Punch originally did 17%. He Bullet Punches into the substitute, meaning it's going to break on the next Bullet Punch. If E goes for substitute here, he's at 58%. It's going to go down to 33. Yeah, 33%. Okay. Plus 12 on that would be 45%. Yeah, okay. Why is that significant? It is so significant. He would have the sub up, meaning Ditto wouldn't be able to come in and copy Gengar at 2x special attack. Arrow, if Gengar was at 45%, I believe from the calc I was looking at earlier, it would break its sub with the first dual wing beat, and then it had like a roll to kill it with the second one. Now obviously dual wing beat can miss in the first place, but if Gengar didn't take that first sub and everything and then made that sub on this play, E should be able to sweep in theory from here. I don't know exactly what his last move on Gengar was, other than Shadow Ball and Nasty Plant and sub. But yeah, that was E's win con at this point, which is like super niche and specific and really hard to see because he only had 30 seconds left on the timer, right? Like this is super difficult to see, and I don't think anybody was expecting him to find that, because like that was really hard to find. But yeah, there was one little sliver of a way to weasel your way out of it at that point, but yeah. And going through this whole breakdown, like, I mean, Joe just played this really well. Played it really well. He was, you know, playing around the chestnut at first because, you know, who stays in on the air slash, but, you know, he didn't let that tilt him. He stayed on track and ended up closing out the game really steadily. So, good game, guys. Yeah, let's pull up the homepage real quick. All right, that's our standings. Got a nice little bell curve going right there. Not bad, not bad. All right, well, rosters are locked, guys, so whatever you got, you got. That's what you're locked with for playoffs. Let's see. I don't know what playoffs are going to look like once we get to that aspect of it. I have no idea what it's going to look like. But I'll let you know what's going on. Alright, boys. Talk to you later. Peace.